best of three it is. And that best of three is going to be the final for the third qualifier of the Southeast European Championship. Number 6. And thankfully, you know, I don't only have to use my brain. I'm here with the lovely script. How are you doing today?
I'm good, I'm good. I've had a bit of a long day at work and ready to cast a bit of CS at the back end of the day. So yeah, I'm doing alright. How are you?
Good, good. The interesting thing about this, you know, I don't know too much about Kliktech as well as about Pixel. I mean, you can see a little bit on them on their HLTV pages, but it gives you always a nice insight of how it can actually work and how different CS do different approaches and so on and so on. That's what I love about all those teams. This is going to be a best of 3, and the first one is going to be Overpass, picked by Kliktech. Where we see Ricky actually taking that classic ninja roll, and we see full aggression from Pixel. They directly want to go here. Ricky actually getting taken down early on. And so that utility as well as that kit thrown into the hands of Stoll, but they only bait. This is the A side take, and they just got all the attention of Kliktech onto the wrong position.
Yeah, this is really clever, really well played to draw those rotations. They've got this smoke as well. The kill actually comes in for Bod Monster, so it doesn't really matter that smoke's there. But they're just absolutely tearing this pistol, moving as a unit. They have dropped one player, but the bomb has gone down, and it's a 1 versus 3 for Bomez now. Definitely hard ask for him. There is a chance, possibly, but just too many angles for him to check. He gets taken down in the end by 2 players, just spamming him down with the pistols. So Pixel with a really clever pistol to throw Kliktech off, keep them guessing. You know, the CT's moving all across the map, not really knowing where that bomb is going, and they just take the pistol by sheer kind of force in the end.
True. And that was kind of surprising how actually it was working, not paying attention to the opponent seeing him, but that logically forces Pixel into a full buy, except Aaron, who loves to go with that MAC-10. And the funny thing, he lurks with that MAC-10 to hopefully find anyone trying to go off guard, finding additional $600 while the entire team pushes over along. Hopes to find anyone as early as possible. In this case, they can push through. That A side is theirs, except Bustem turns around at the right moment of time. There, here's the utility. Now the Deagle needs to be used wisely. He does not hit a single shot though, and that would have been his opportunity. Trip one head off after another. But they don't. While Aaron sees their Stoll. Yeah, and at least one has been found by saving.
Yeah, I think taking away the AK there, Aaron's probably going to save it in the end, but everyone apart from Aaron pulling out AKs here for this T side, which is something you don't see very often. Just pulling out the rifles early, which means, you know, they have limited utility, but they use it wisely. Obviously get that bomb down, and now Bomez and Berkey just really looking to really get some exits, try and save themselves a rifle going into the next round. You know, that one-shot potential for the CTs. We talk about how important it is time and time again, but it really is, you know, it can be a game changer. But it looks like they're not really going to get anything. The T's exiting together, which is quite smart. And they're not going to lose any more than they initially did. So a pretty well played kind of anti-force buy round from Pixel there. So they're really starting to solidify this economy very early on in the half.
Sure, I mean, as we're seeing it right here, the classic full eco on Kliktech, which is favoring them a lot actually. When we see 2.7 is the average, say actually 3.7, so they can buy up quite properly for the next round. So going then with the AWP, and now Stoll hiding himself towards toilets, hopes that anyone runs his crosshair as early as possible. In this case, repetition for Pixel as they take the entire route once more, saying, okay, A-long is what we're choosing. Gonna run into them. Ricky should probably see any opponent very soon, but there, ouch, comes Bot Monster, picks up Stoll into the toilets. The grenade directly pops into Bank. And at least one. Shots are happening. Ricky with another, actually seeing there through the smoke. Good damage he has dealt there onto Aaron, but now it gets a little bit difficult, especially Bomez comes in from behind. He has the opportunity to deal a lot of damage, but that was his chance. Thrown away.
Yeah, he's not quite there fast enough. Like you say, it's a little bit unfortunate there for the CTs. Aaron left on 14, and BZT took a little bit of damage as well, so there was a nice bit of damage done by the pistols, but not really able to convert that into more than the initial frags that they got. So playing into a stack there as well, Pixel against 3 Deagles. Not too bad from them. You know, you would like them to maybe be a bit cleaner like they were in the previous round, but that's something we see quite often now, is these CTs, instead of going for the full force buy after losing the pistol, they instead opt to just go with 5 deagles and try and make that work. But in this round with the rifles, the traded kills right off the bat there. Savvy, I think, had an AWP, so that's quite a valuable weapon going down. And Aaron kind of with a solo play, a little bit risky there, and he does end up going down for it.
Could have grabbed a lot of attention. One of his teammates would have won directly for short, but going alone for the connector can be very dangerous, as we have just experienced right now. Devil is the only one who has a little bit control towards speed. Pops off his smoke so he can safely escape towards the T-spawn, while it is once more A long. No changes in plans, and that is just $400 thrown away into nothing. Smoke blocking off the Molotov. Actually, the other smoke making it work, though. And so now it's only going to be Bricky who can really hold off anything. He has to get very close, because there's a bot monster whose barrel should be spotted in a matter of seconds, but tension shifts, and there it shifts in the wrong moment of time as bot monster finds him. That is so unfortunate for Kliktech right here. Bomus, he thinks twice with Stoll, but they rather say, should we go for that? I mean, we have the rifles, and they seemingly want to find something. Could be Devil disrupting them, though.
Yeah, he's actually been really big this round. He finishes it off in the end there. But yeah, Devil, that kill was massive on the kind of the flank there to distract Berkey, as we saw. You know, that was actually probably not intentional, but kind of works out in their favour. The timing, you know, CSGO is kind of all about timing at the end of the day, or at least a large part of it. And it's just not in the favour of the CTs, because he was in a really good position to stop that bomb from going down. So timing in the favour of Pixel means that 4th round for them, 4 in a row, and now Kliktech on another simple pistol buy. Probably not going to expect too much from this. BZT picking up the first 2. Bomez has managed to pick up 1, and I think that's all he's going to get. Avi.
I mean, he can make it work. Oh. Okay, just threw the last piece of metal, takes down Plummet at least, but that was pretty much it. He does start with the Eagle. Nice shot, but a nice shot does not win you the round, so it's going to be the 5-0 for those guys from Pixel. Getting round after round. And Scriff, I don't know how you see it, but Kliktech had a buy round. They had a really good option, but then it just fell apart. What happened there?
Well, I think, honestly, it all comes off of that 1 kill from Devil. You know, they got some nice initial frags, but then maybe over-rotated a little bit towards B, left Berkey all by himself, and then he's got no one else to kind of rely off to watch all the angles. He gets a bit worried from short, and as it happens, you know, Pixel have just been really patient, walking up long the entire time, not making any noise, other than maybe a flashbang here or there, and it's just really... the fact that they played it so slowly, didn't give the CTs any opportunities, and then it just worked out in their favour, honestly. A little bit of luck, I think, to get that 4th round on the board. But we'll see if this buy here from Kliktech can do them any good. They've got the double AWP set up, overpass a map famous for how effective the AWP can be, so we'll see if they can make something happen with that. True,
and especially we have seen actually Kliktech being a way better CT team. Savvy starts to fire, and surprisingly, yep, there it comes. Took a little for BZT to actually finally do any kind of impact, but Kliktech down to 3 players, 2 already in the coffin, and still is out of movement options, but doesn't matter. He finds Plummet early on. Sits there down deep in the bank, where BZT now needs to strike. The flash from his teammate assists him to find that. And the nade as well as the Molotov are dealing massive damage onto Bricky. Actually got it correct, only down to 69. Now he gets a good bunch. Another nade towards Spank, and so this should be a signed 6th round for those guys from Hungary. And for some reason, Kliktech, they can't make it work at all.
Yeah, I don't know. They're just kind of playing individually as opposed to as a team, which is a little bit surprising, because I think, you know, we talked about in the pre-game how we've both heard of Kliktech and some of their accomplishments that they've got in the past, whereas Pixel, a little bit of an unknown quantity to you and I. So, and we see Stavey there, he does get the initial kill, but immediately gets traded because there's no one else there to help him out. And of course the AWP is kind of 1 bullet at a time. So, and it does make sense here, I think, for Kliktech to pull this pause out. Although apparently it's a technical pause, so what do I know? But
I mean, you don't want to.
I just sort of assumed, yeah, when it was 6-0.
you don't want to be down 6-0 on your own map pick. That's just a very uncomfortable feeling. From start to finish, it's just something in a situation you don't want to be in, because it first of all starts with your opponent coming very close to being better on your actual side, where you usually tend to be the victor, so you have to grab a lot of compensation on the less favorable side of yours, and there it gets problematic, especially as Pixel. I mean, when we take a look at the frags, there's not like that key player you need to shut down to then be successful. That is not happening. They're really just separating the frags throughout the entire roster. BZT is not doing bad, but not skyrocketing throughout the stats. So what we need to see from Kliktech, though, is an adaptation to what they have been doing wrong. And that pause maybe gave them the option, though it's technical. And we're going to see how it will work.
Yeah, we'll see. I think Kliktech, they bought into this round a little bit of a weaker buy. You know, they've got a UMP on Bustum. But still, you know, reasonable. Everybody else has got M4s and the AWP in Savy's hands. He has been getting kills with it. It's just they've not really been able to do much with it. And overpasses a map, you know, like I mentioned previously. Oh, missing that flick. That's going to cost you. Yeah, you can't be missing those, honestly. We just talked about how he is at getting kills, and then he misses by a simple shot, and it's really going to cost his team. Yeah, the caster's curse, man.
Always the same stuff, you know. You don't want to do anything about it, and suddenly it happens. But getting back to it, though, Kliktech, they have a lot of information. Bustum knows, okay, there is no one towards a playground, and that logically brings Stoll in the position. That's perfectly played. Take a look right here. Bustum watches that no one goes over playground, while Stoll looks that no one can come over connector. The logical conclusion is they have to go towards B. There's no other option, and they do. Devil dedicates. Bricky jumps and waits for the right information for his teammate. Bomus pulls out a flashbang already. There's the information. He saw it. Don't jump again, because otherwise you will be down a drain in a matter of seconds. And there's going to be Stoll. Going over shoulder in a second. Assistance is coming from behind his bot monster. Makes his way to it, but Stoll finds one. And now he needs to take a look from behind. But the Deagle makes it work. Could be the first here for Kliktech. Ah, my fault. No, fully misunderstanding. Could be the 7th one for Pixel. Oh, that was embarrassing.
Yeah, the spray coming in as well from Devil to just kind of finish it off. And again, you know, some good positions from Kliktech. You know, Stoll, the only one to pick up a kill. He could have potentially got more if he wasn't flanked out by Bod Monster, but unfortunately, I think the way Pixel play in this is quite smart. They know that their enemies are on a bit of a weaker buy. Their economy isn't brilliant, because obviously they've not been winning any rounds. So you just play quietly and not giving any info at all to Kliktech, and then it's all very reactive style of play that Kliktech has to work with, right? They don't have this information in their mind, right? I know there's going to be 2 players come in, so therefore I can prepare this flashbang or throw this Molotov. They instead have to act, you know, the split-second decisions, which obviously is not working out for them because they've lost 7 rounds in a row.
Sure.
So it's really smartly played by Pixel, I think.
The bigger problem is it feels, you know, it also goes down to your motivation. Though it's a best of 3 and you have many chances, it's just painful to see as your team on your own map that you're continuously losing like this. And what we're seeing so far just doesn't really cheer them up or brings the mood in any kind of good position. Because there comes already a double from those guys from Pixel, while a nearly full buy Kliktech just suffers over and over and over again from this. And I just seriously don't understand why BZT comes in aggressive. Not sure what Bricky really tried to do there, as he just jumps very obvious onto that B site, and only Stoll can save it together with Bomus, but they're retreating, and that for a really good reason.
Yeah, again, you know, Pixel, we were literally just talking about how they play slowly and quietly. In this round, they come out all guns blazing, very little utility used. And just getting in the face of Kliktech. So they're making it so they're really, really difficult to read. And Kliktech can't anti-strat them in any way. Now the main goal, obviously, is Stoll wants to save this M4. I think that's probably his first 2K of the game off the back end of this round. And will probably manage to save this M4. What little help it will give them into the next round. Ooh, the bomb actually taken down.
Oh, God. There you go. That's unfortunate.
It's painful to watch.
It is.
It really is.
And especially as the money is stacking right here onto the site of Pixel. They can buy over and over 15k on the bot monster. And Kliktech, they're down to pretty much even the dualies, and that says a lot in those situations. If you go down to the dualies, something went wrong. And Molotov throws directly that towards the barrels. No chance of anyone playing it close now. Bomus as well as Bricky, they need to realize that's the B side going to be open. Now dualies, you gotta do your work. $500, he reloads just when 26 balls are still in. And that is just painful. 9th round on the board. It probably will be not working. Devil getting a double stole together with Savvy trying their best to get anything out of this, but it seems like the Hungarians are sticking to their flawless round. That's just painful. Horrible.
Yeah, I think even at this point, if they manage to save an AK or even an AWP, we'll see if Stoll can get something off of that. He gets one, but then traded straight back.
That's painful.
Davey probably spotted out here.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not going brilliantly for them. I think they need to find a way to gather info early on in the round and stop giving Pixel, you know, the playing field and allowing them to just do whatever they want, right? If you allow them to set up... Exactly. You know, you have to put a spanner in the works, as the saying goes, to stop them having such an easy time of it, and they're just not doing that. They're just playing the same old default, and Pixel just reading them so easily and just getting rounds.
Savino finally starting off with taking Plummen. During a 9-0, you might want to start doing something, and there's a good reason for that. As we see, though, 1:30 left in the clock, and Stoll might catch those guys off guard. Bustum comes in from behind. He has a big chance of finding one, and he does, finding a second. And that could be finally that relief. Getting one, and the shoot. He just threw that wall. Devil taken down. And Kliktech finally see that at 1 on the scoreboard. That's
yeah, and it did. It really did. But they finally figure out a little bit of coordinated aggression there. You know, you have the solo AWP aggression from Savy, gets the initial pick, and then that allows Bustum to kind of... He becomes expendable. Pushing up long. You know, if he dies, he's got the info, but if he gets the 2k like he does, then it pretty much secures the round there and then.
The big problem is, though, if those guys get reset right now. Start's good for Stoll, but if they're giving this round away to their opponents, that would be just horrific from an economic point of view. Actually not. Taking it back. Was surprising.
I think keeping all the players alive in the last round is definitely going to help their economy out, but ideally they don't want to be losing this round anyway, whether it's a reset or not. You know, they need to start getting some on the board to have a fighting chance going into their T side.
Very much agree, but on the other hand, you know, just technically speaking, the options are getting a little down to 0 for Pixel at that point. Devil dead, gaining a lot of control towards A-Long though. It is just about Plummen to not lose the bomb to Bustum, because then it would be one of the worst choke points it to be. As you see, you know, you talked about it, you're playing it so sneaky the most of the time, and I do once more. But Plummen, given that bomb position away, now needs to know, okay, I can't expose myself against the opponent, I need to rotate back. If it would not just be Aaron to assist his teammate against Bomas, because he could be the one holding off the bomb. Once he hears the steps, exactly that happens. Flame comes out, should get caught off guard. Nope, does not happen. Running into another Flame, and Bomas has an easy game here. Finding 2, and Aaron is the last one to do anything.
Yeah, Aaron getting taken down in the end there as well. So they only lose 1 player. Really good for the economy again, as you can see. There's a lot of players doing really well here. Berkey gets dropped as well, so he doesn't have to spend too much. There's definitely a chance for Kliktech. I think 5 rounds is a good target at this point with how many they've lost. You know, typically we say that Overpass is CT-sided, but you can make a good go of it on the T side if you know what you're doing. BZT opening up with that AWP, though, is really, really going to make it difficult now for Kliktech going into the back end of this round. Losing someone so quickly is going to cost you huge.
I mean, just technically speaking, besides the voice crack hitting me again, it is, interestingly enough, a good bunch of rounds Pixel already got. I mean, a 9-6 is already very favorable, but it looks like they can go for something like 11, if not even 12. 13 is the maximum, but I kind of not guess that Kliktech will throw every round away from now on. This one, though, definitely in the hands of Pixel, as only Bricky as well as Bomas can hold anything off. They're taking their time, Pixel. The bomb is back towards T-spawn. They can go B, they can go A, they can do whatever they like. Even maybe play some team deathmatch if there would not be Bricky actually taking out Monster. A brutal shot, and now they should not overdo it with the deathmatch. Because exactly that happens. 2 versus 1. Still, your opponent is down to 19, but you don't want to be in that situation right now. It's uncomfortable.
Yeah, it's smart to rotate back over towards B, I think. I'm not sure. I mean, Bomez in this situation, it would be wise to save, which I think he is going to do. Thought for a second he might have made his way down connected to try and get the hero play, but he's going to wise up and just try and save the AWP into the next round. But yeah, Kliktech, a little bit the same of what we saw. They did win those 2 rounds out in a row, which means they'll be able to buy up going into this next round. But, you know, Pixel, it's not like Kliktech have done anything wild that they just can't deal with. It was, you know, a little bit of aggression in 1 round and then just simply finding the early kills in the round after. So when Pixel have said, right, we'll let them have those 2 rounds. Now let's go back to our usual default that's been working all these other rounds and just shut them down so that, you know, we can start getting into double digits and really start running away with the half.
True. 100% agree on that because, you know, it comes down to keeping up your pace, your momentum, and don't let your opponent start to disrespect you. That could work for Kliktech, but they just don't really try to do that. Playing it very deep with the defense line. Aaron already denying every further movement for Stoll. Cannot get out of his position except he wants to exit the connector. So it's about that 130. A lot of time in this round they need to utilize because as we see, smoke and flashbangs. They're just ready to be popped. They set their destination already, early on. They just need to wait for Kliktech to use all their utility. It would be probably smart to set anyone towards A or somewhere towards Playground to just, you know, maybe make some noise, but it does not even matter. Because take a look right now. That B side is more than open.
This is crazy. I mean, Berkey rotated all the way towards A with practically no reason to do so. Just based off of, you know, intuition. There was no real info that came in. And again, we're seeing it from Pixel, this slow start. And the nade's just going to push Bomez out, leaves him on 10 HP. And all 10 players are alive here, but Pixel have somehow got control of the B-bomb site with minimal effort. And now the boost that we normally see from the CTs coming in to pick up the first kill of the round. It's such an odd round to see here, and now the rotates are going to come in. Finally, Aaron picking up 2 before finally getting traded, and now it's just Berkey all by himself, and he's going to run away and save that AWP yet again. A little bit of deja vu from him in this round.
Yeah, well, 11th for Pixel. It's painful if you're a Kliktech fan, because next map is going to be Cash. They can be successful at the first time they have played here against the Bulgarians of Headshot BG. They won very easily, but on the other hand, it's not their pick. Pixel seem to know what they can do in Cash, so that's the problem about it. It does not really matter. It's just the best of 3. You have all the chances you want to any time.
It'd be interesting to know. I mean, Pixel might have done their homework and seen that Kliktech quite like playing overpass and let them pick it. Who knows? Like we say, they're a little bit of an unknown quantity, so it can be difficult to veto against them. Davey, of course, opened up. Aaron caught out, tagged through the wall there, down to 20 HP. So a good start from Kliktech in this round. They've dealt the damage, picked up 2 kills now. It's looking good for them to win this one out and get a 3rd on the board.
11 HP onto Aaron, making it all a little bit more difficult. Nade lands directly in front of Rick. He can just avoid the Inferno in front of him. That could have been a good one. Goes for the no-scopes, but nothing more to hit at that point in time. Wallace busts him on the other side of the map. Playing it more defensive now in Toilets. Hopes for anyone to come in, and it works. Taking on Plummet, and the same goes for Monster. No, not this time. Stays alive with 10 HP. But he's assisting his teammates so much with making him so extremely vulnerable. Does not even care about the bomb anymore. Hopes just to find the frags. She's dead of Breaky, but not fast enough. Headshot with the AWP is just awfully painful. And so it's going to be 3-11. Pixel can go for the 12th. And I think it comes all down, whatever happens here, it comes down very much to the pistol round we're going to see during the second half. Because that determines the economic advantage and the general armory advantage, and you know that can determine the game very early on.
I think it'll be really important who takes that. You know, it could be Pixel running away with things, and it could be Kliktech with a chance to get back into it. I think they kind of need this one here, and it's almost a given. There's very little utility, but the initial kills actually go in the way of Pixel, making it a 4 versus 3. Stole on the flank here, does eventually find that kill onto Plumant. A little bit more difficult than maybe he would have wanted. The bomb as well, someone left it all the way back towards T spawn. That means they have to hunt for the kills, and Stoll is going to capitalise with his trusty Famous, getting himself a 2k to win the man advantage back for his team. So now it is left on Devil and Bod Monster. Two of the sort of quieter players. I suppose Bod Monster's been doing quite well, but Devil, the lowest fragger on his team, so might be difficult for them to win out this clutch situation, especially because the CTs have barely used any utility. There's still 50 seconds left. But they've got B control.
Yeah, especially because the control Devil gain here is just so massive. If Bod Monster keeps himself very quiet while he approaches that site, he might get the bomb down, and he does. He should be able to do so. Waits out a lot, and there comes Bricky. Why does Bod Monster stay there so long? He just waits out that anyone comes over short, but...
Another weird round from both sides.
Oh, that's weird. There comes one beautifully done by Bod Monster. He needs to reposition himself. Don't want to over peek, and he nearly gets Bricky. He makes him very, very nervous. And that's perfect movement from Bod Monster. Keep it tight, but position is given away. Now it's only down to Bomus to do something about this. That peeks himself to white, and there it goes. 4th-1 for Kliktech. A very unnecessary peek from Bod Monster. Could have played towards Monster, ironically. But a 4-11. I mean, you can work with that.
Possibly. I mean, if Kliktech have got a good T-half, you know, like we mentioned earlier, they do need this pistol, otherwise they're going to very much have their backs against the wall. But, you know, take it step by step, win the pistol, get those conversion rounds, win out the rifle with some kind of execute that you've got in your back pocket, and then all of a sudden, it's 11-8, and you've got a fighting chance.
Exactly.
And they are going to try something a little bit spooky in this pistol round. 3 players have bought up utility for this T side. No kit as well in the hands of Pixel, so getting that bomb down is pretty important here.
We have not seen that yet, to be very honest, from those guys of Kliktech in any kind of aggression round. But that is very interesting what Pixel have done. Because they just pushed all together towards B, just said, okay, we see nobody here, you know, just leave Devil, maybe somewhere around it. But Kliktech, not even sure on purpose, they counter-strat it by not making any control early on. So nobody can figure out anything, but it seems that Pixel did the right gamble. As we see 4 players pushing through toilets, one of the most narrow spots of the entire map, and it's just coming down to those duels. If they're winning them easily or not. Figure it out though. Bod Monster keeps himself close to the B sites. Bomus, if you take a look, he wants to fake it out. Question is, how much will Pixel fall for it? Now the steps have been nervous. Ouch, that is painful. It's a massacre there in front of Birthday. And Bomus, what would be your advice right now for him?
Well, he doesn't have any armor. He's only got this Glock. You know, they've got to have a bit of an inkling that he's on the lurk. So find the first kill, that always helps, and now he's got to deal with all 4 at once. He kind of knows where they're playing from, but unfortunately he just gets spammed down there by Bod Monster's USP. And I mean, I wouldn't say it's a good read from Pixel. It's a really odd strategy. You know, if Kliktech just quickly go towards A, which was obviously their overall intention, but they've lost that kind of confidence after getting demolished in the first half, so they instead decide to wait and see if the CTs get too aggressive towards them, and unfortunately it just doesn't work out in their favour, and they walk straight into the 4-man meat grinder.
Of course, the meat grinder does not stop, as Kliktech has nothing else for those pistols but a free versus free. Surprising outcome.
To be fair, yeah, this could be good for Kliktech. Their goal in this round is to obviously get the bomb down. Still got a little bit of utility, but peeking like that all alone is definitely not the way to do it, especially when no one else has got armor or, you know, any kind of strong weaponry to speak of.
See. 3 versus 3 looked very lucrative. It looked very promising. There you run into Aaron. You don't want to do it like that, Savvy, and it's only a Bustum who has at least the M4 in his hands. Can maybe find some great rifle frags. But he first of all needs to find a good position to even start that off. Because, you know, Bot Monster's jumping could actually be his own death as he jumps a little bit too much. Now he has seen Bustum. Just needs to have the right call with his teammate. As there he sees it, Aaron hears his friend's teammate call. 13-4 Kliktech. That economy just screams for don't buy, but there we go. It's very unsatisfying.
Not ideal. I mean, Bustum's still playing with the Tech 9, the absolute madman. A weapon you don't see very often at this level of play anymore. Yeah. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe he's going to make us eat our words and he knows something that we don't. But yeah, just kind of going balls to the wall here, I think, Kliktech. And it's really not working out because BZT is going huge with the Mag 7 at the moment. Plenty of bank for him, not that it really matters, but 2 initial kills, not traded back, pretty much unpunished. Means, you know, the 4 versus 2 situation now and the very weak weaponry for these remaining T-side players. The dink does come in. Unfortunately not going to translate into a kill, so Aaron is able to get aggressive and find that final one onto Bustum. So
it's once more a squishy economy, and that's very unfortunate. If you're in round number 19 and you did 6 frags, that's not very good, Savvy. But in total, just, you know, strategically speaking, their entire effort seems to be down to a minimum. Kliktech, where's the diversity in the play? Where's that kind of sudden upset in not being predictable? I mean, the first pistol run has been very interesting, as we saw them just waiting there in front of Playground the entire time. But that was pretty much the only surprising moment we had during this, and now it's coming down to Devil finding Stole early on. Does do so, 1 head less onto the Kliktech site, where nobody except Bustum has nothing on the chest.
I don't know, I'm a little bit confused because they forced last round. When their economy is not obviously in the ideal situation to play for the win, as it were, and then decided to eco the round after. So now they're going to have to try and win 11 in a row, and they've just made it really difficult for themselves. So I'm not sure if they're kind of taking the L on this one, and just looking to the next map, which is Cash, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
But like we said, this is their pick, and they're getting absolutely demolished. So it does not bode well for Cash at the moment. And this is what, you know, Pixel are showing them how to pick up rounds on the CT side. You know, pushing 3 over towards A, you get that initial info, and then one guy rotates back to help cover A. Stole with a weird jumping headshot. Not quite sure what that was, and through the wall as well will take down BZT. So maybe a chance for Kliktech to take this one after losing the initial player. Berkey as well helping out. Odd Monster is ever reliable to pick up 1, but it costs him a fair chunk of his HP. And the B-bomb site is completely open for this T side as the bomb goes down with about a minute remaining. They seem to like to fake out these bomb plants through the T side. Plus, third time's the charm. The Molotov comes in and
that was really tight. I mean, that could have also
almost getting to him.
Yeah, could have also went the other way, but in this case, as we see, Bot Monster as well as Devil, as you mentioned, HP are not their friends right now, especially as Bot Monster gets taken down in the wrong moment of time. Devil has still 100 though. So we're going to see how he will do it. Bomas is close. Bomas gets taken down, 39 HP. He has a kid and a smoke. So if he wants to be sneaky here, he could do that, but running away seems to be the right option because they have such a big buffer of rounds right here. There's no real reason to just throw it away.
Yeah, and this is really good respect from Devil, to be fair. You know, the fact that, like you say, they do have so many rounds, but you don't want to give Kliktech kind of every kill that they get gives them a little bit more hope, a little bit, you know,
strength,
that extra push. Exactly. And they don't, Pixel don't want to allow Kliktech to get back into it. You know, they need to completely shut them out, especially because it's a best of 3. You know, you want to crush them in this first map, and then also have an easy time of it on the second one because they're just arguing with each other, completely unmotivated to win. So it's just the little things, you know, that make the difference.
True, 100%. This is what Counter-Strike, what's very often, you know, not seen as a difference between professionals and semi-professionals. Not only skill and what you can do as a unit, it's also your attitude, your mindset, and you know, semi-pros maybe I cannot tell here for Kliktech or Pixel, tend to be a little bit more aggressive, more mad, more just stubborn. I can tell you, it could be one of those things. And at that point, this is where you need to keep calm, and you don't want to feed your opponent's ego to sight like that. Kliktech starts though with a nice frag onto Devil. Stoll got that wall. For 60 seconds, Pixel can just lay relaxed on each of the sites. Keep 2 on B, keep 2 on A. That might work then.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, again, Kliktech get that opening pick. They do have a fair amount of utility. Berkey, for some reason, buying up the Julies. They've made another appearance. But we'll see. There's limited utility for this CT side. They do have 3 kits, so maybe a chance on the retake, but I think it's going to suit them if they get these initial kills. BZT is a little bit apprehensive. Only gets 1 before going down. Stoll as well will take down Bod Monster's only teammate, leaving him in a 1 versus 3.
Oh, there it comes from behind. Oh well, he tried. That's legitimate, but yeah, Pixel can go more for a semi-option. Devil could drop some, and he does. Gives CZ to all of his teammates a deagle as well, and now it's time to just try to find some. Oh, okay. This is a different kind of play we see here from Devil. Goes for the auto shotty. Not quite sure where he wants to push himself, but makes a lot of sense to push yourself and stand close towards connector. One of the tightest and most narrow spots of this map.
Yeah, if there's anywhere that suits the auto shotgun, it's definitely in connector, in fairness. So, and even if he just gets 1 kill, it's still $900 going into the next round. So it's all about profit maximization with that weapon. A little bit of damage being done onto Bomez initially as well. So looking kind of good in the initial first few seconds, and the auto shotgun about to come into fruition. He gets 1 as yet traded. Stoll does not fancy it. Kind of baiting his teammate out. And Aaron,
that's not the way you want to put it, but suddenly then you don't react wisely. Bomez finds a jumping Aaron as well as a Devil, as they were just a little too furious of getting out of there. But 2 more players for Kliktech. They need to make that difference, as well as the bomb just carries their way right now. A silent save. He spends a lot of time rotating because he has the bomb. He needs to make any kind of move. Goes over long. 35 seconds are left on that clock, and now it's about working it together. There would be no reason right now for BZT to go on his own when he could have a teammate pushing over bank. But the key player could be Plummin. Because let's be real, there comes one perfectly executed. 16-6. A pistol round. A pistol force goes in a favor for Pixel Gaming. Will Cash go any different? What do you think?
I think Cash is a very puggy kind of map, and it's also a staple map at the moment that a lot of teams are good on. And I would give it to Kliktech, I would think in my mind, just because they seem to have a little bit more raw skill. But as a unit, Pixel were just tearing things apart. So we'll see if they pull out, some more interesting pistol strats, whether they work out for them, and if Kliktech are able to find their feet a little bit easier, because they sort of did towards the end of that map. They were winning gun rounds, off some good team play, but it was kind of a little too late,
Sure.
So we'll see if they can get that initial strong start on Cash, and then if they can get rolling with that. But it should be interesting.
It definitely will be. We'll take a little break, though. We'll just be right back with the Southeast European Championship here by ESL.